Okay, time for the Veritas about the Harvard spectacle. First and foremost, I actually had some people question, how come I wasn't really covering it much on the podcast, on the radio show? How shall I put this? I don't care. I don't care. I'm going to maybe surprise a lot of people out there, but this is one big, fat, huge nothing burger as far as I'm concerned. Oh, it's great. It's great for television, cable news networks, politicians, getting your picture in the paper, hearings. Yeah, this is about as consequential as the baseball steroid hearings back in the day. Okay, I'm going to go through some of this right now. Again, resignation came and heavy heart, she said, deep love for Harvard. I'll be stepping down as president. Again, 6 months. 6 months on the job. Various different members of Congress trying to take credit for this resignation, and some conservative activists as well. This Representative Republican Elsie Stefanik was questioning the college presidents in regards to their code of conduct and the response to anti-Semitism on their campus. Remember, she was asking yes or no answers, whether calls for the genocide of the Jews violate the school's policies, called Gay's resignation a personal victory. I will always deliver results. Stefanik, who happens to be a Harvard alum, Claudine Gay's moral bankrupt answers to my questions made history. So, yeah, they're out there spiking the football on this one. Did they really achieve anything? Ask yourself a question. Do you think that anything's going to change at Harvard? Do you think anything is going to change on these college campuses right now around the country? Do you really think that's after this? Do you think they're going to change anything at all? No, nothing. No, nothing is going to change. This is the equivalent, and I understand it's a president of Harvard. It's not like you took out Pablo Escobar, in an equivalency of like the drug war or anything like that. Again, they're everywhere. You got a couple. So now you got two. You got UPenn and you got Harvard. You got a couple college presidents to resign. Are they going to change their policies? No. Policies aren't going to change. Nothing is going to change. Again, of course, again, I can give you the classic example of this. This Claudine Gay, she's not losing her salary. She makes $900,000 a year. She's going to remain on campus as a member of the faculty. Doing what? They're going to have her teach a class? Or she's going to hang out somewhere? Member of the faculty. This is just what a scam that we've discussed year after year after year, colleges and universities have become. What exactly do you do here now, Claudine? Probably nothing. Probably not. Hey, we just had another U.S. Republican congressman from Ohio, I forget his name, stepping down because he got offered to be the president of Youngstown State. Freaking take that job, man. I mean, can he finish out his term? Hell no. Hell no, you want an easy as hell job? Oh, man, get a job at a college for crying out loud. University, be an administrator, be a college president. You don't get any easier than that for crying out loud. But again, Claudine Gay said that she was subjected to personal attacks and it was fueled by racial animus. That's not true. Okay? I'm sorry. This is what I'm saying. Nothing's going to change. It's not going to change. This is just going to energize the leftists on college campuses. Oh, we got to blame race. It must be race. She's black. She's a woman. It's got to be. It has to be. That's the reason why she was fired. Meanwhile, you take a look. You take a look at Claudine Gay's resume as far as academia is concerned, she had written a book, put out a few papers. It is thin at best. Thin at best. Anyway, so $900,000 a year she's going to stay on. Great, whatever. Great work if you can get it, if you're, a member of the club. And you had a couple. You had Bill Bennett. You had Victor Davis Hanson, who were interviewed on Fox when it came to this. And Bill Bennett, who went to Harvard, he was a teacher there as well. He says, we see here as an example the final corruption of our most elite institutions. Bill, give me a break, man. Okay, this has been going on for a very long time. This is a surprise at this at all. The damage to America's oldest and long, its most prestigious university could have ripple effects on wider society. No. Sorry, Bill. The American people do not need more discouragement towards the institutions they once looked up to. Can Harvard recover? Yes. Will it recover? No. The problems are too ingrained. Yeah, I agree with you there. Again, this Victor Davis Hanson. Again, I'm a big fan of his work. Got a shelf full of his books over there. We once expected the president of Harvard to be the leading academic in the nation. And again, he goes on here. Again, talked about her limited record of academic achievement. Again, both Bennett and Hanson said that Gay was hired based upon diversity, equity, and including DEI considerations that today have replaced meritocracy in education and elsewhere in society. She was an affirmative action hire, Hanson said last week. We've lost a tradition that in America, anybody of class, any race, or any ideology will be judged in the marketplace of ideas for their performance. And he also added, if Harvard points as its permanent president another candidate based on DEI without a record of substantial scholarship, intellectual probity, recognized teaching, and administrative excellence, and the university will only reinforce the now growing consensus that it has abandoned even the veneer of meritocracy. All right, let's stop with that right now, okay? Stop. I agree with some of the things these guys said, but let's be honest here, okay? Harvard, UPenn, whatever it may be. Meritocracy, yeah, I guess, yeah, for some kids, absolutely. Absolutely. Some kid work their tail. I'm not arguing that, but don't tell me, okay, that there aren't other ways of getting in school, because I know better. I know. Okay, listen, I manage people's money, but I also spent a significant portion of time actually helping kids getting into schools based upon their athletic endeavors. And so happens many of the kids that I've coached, a lot of them come from, let's just put it this way, significant means. And if you don't think that donations by parents play a part in getting kids into school and being a legacy or your family name, if you don't think that those things matter, you're crazy. Of course they do. Let me ask you a question. Do you think anybody with the last name of Kennedy would ever be rejected from Harvard? Now, let's be honest. What is your undergraduate enrollment? 1,200, 1,300, 1,400? It's in and around those numbers, right? I mean, do you honestly think? A lot of people. I don't even think Elon Musk would ever do something. Doesn't seem like the type. But if, let's say, a rich guy, Elon Musk, someone like him, their kid applies to the school. Well, you don't think the administration? Well, whoa. This is an opportunity here. We got to be all over this, for crying out loud, and they are. They are. If Elsie Stefanik, all these Republicans, if they were really concerned about this at all, why not go after the nonprofit status of these institutions? Why do you not start looking to? And I know you had the no vote, but why not make a big push nationally to eliminate the nonprofit status of these colleges and universities? It's just that simple. Go after it. Again, you said somebody resigned and they're still going to make $900,000 a year, probably doing nothing. And Biden made a fortune being a professor at the University of Pennsylvania. Didn't teach a class. I'm here to tell you, nothing is going to change. This whole story, to me, is a joke. It's a joke. It's a sideshow. It's a spectacle. So yeah, okay. And like I said, if it's a nonprofit institution, yeah, well, I guess the thing should be based upon a meritocracy. Make it profitable and let Harvard do whatever the hell it wants. Or any of the other schools. Let them do whatever they want. They can have any sort of practice they want. I've covered this here on the program. It wasn't that long ago. There was a story in the Wall Street Journal, talking about these kind of smaller sports, squash and fencing and all these other things, and how it helps to get kids into the school. I'll tell you again, this was several years ago, having a conversation with the head lacrosse coach over at Princeton. I don't care. Throw it out there. And explaining to me, their process there, the school mandates that the incoming class of recruits have a minimum GPA. Minimum GPA score for all the kids that are coming in. And, sometimes, again, they're basically throwing a lot of the SAT and ACT stuff out, but that can help. And he told me, hey, listen, we'll have kids. He's straight up. He said, we'll have kids basically retake tests, retake SATs, ACTs that have already been accepted into the school, because if they get a better grade, it can help get to some of the kids that the grades aren't as good into the school. So yeah, come on. There's a racket involved. They check boxes. I know recent people getting into Harvard, local school district here, by no means whatsoever did their grade point average basically make them someone that you would think would get into Harvard, but they checked other boxes. And that's what the school does. And they want to do their little diversity thing. I mean, let's think about it this way. And again, this is true. Okay, this is how it works. And again, this was speaking with someone, let's say, well entrenched with another one of our nation's great institutions, very hard to get into, Notre Dame. Now, you don't think that these schools, the funnel process, you think they go through every single application one by one? You don't think that they have a filter to eliminate certain people? And sometimes that filter, guess what, is what school you came from. Whether or not they rank that school at a high level. Going back to like 2000, date myself, 2003, 2004. I had a kid on my lacrosse team. This is down in Florida. And again, this was a newer area that was building up in Florida, and the high school that he went to wasn't well recognized. He wasn't going to play college sports, but the kid was valedictorian of his class, over 2,000 kids involved in everything. He didn't get into a single Ivy League school. Got to Georgetown, got a great education. But one would assume, geez, why wouldn't that be the case? Well, they filter. They're only taking X amount of kids from this area of the country. And when they take from that area of the country, they have their go-to schools. They have the schools that they're going to, that they're looking for first and foremost. And you might be smarter, better in any way, shape, manner, form, but if you're not on that list, you're getting cut off the list. How do you think they're able to do this? Not to mention the fact that we've covered this here on the program. You don't think when they're basically weeding things down that they also don't look to see what mom and dad do for a living? Now, again, when you take schools like Harvard into consideration, when they have endowments of their size, it's a little different. But you got a lot of these small, high-level liberal arts schools, the Lafayettes of the world. I mean, there's a myriad of them out there. The Nescott schools, all these. You don't think that they take a look and say, we got to make sure mom and dad can afford to pay this, because we got to give merit money to the kids that can't afford it. I mean, that's how they do things. So they always discriminate in some way, shape, matter, or form. Crying out loud. Again, another Wall Street Journal article from like a year and a half ago. That was like, say, you want to get into an Ivy League school? There was a whole thing, play lacrosse. Sure. It's a much easier way of getting in. I was there. Son got recruited, went there, recruiting trips. Hey, funny thing is that, we're sitting down with the kids on the team and talking to them. Parents are asking questions and they're asking about their experience there. And what the kids were saying, the hardest thing about, the most difficult thing with them getting used to going to school there is having so much time on their hands, free time on their hands. And I'm like, what? What? And you'd be surprised. Some other schools have much more difficult core requirements than some of these Ivy League schools, much more difficult. But again, you see this across the board. You don't think money plays a part in all of this? I could tell you a story after story of all the prep schools. What do you think all the prep schools are in New England? The Salisburys, the Deerfields, the whole bunch of them, Avon Old Farms. I mean, kids go there after doing crappy at the regular high school, and they go there for an extra year, a postgraduate high school year, get their grades up for 1 year, and whoop, they can get in. Mom and dad got the money to spend 50, 60, 70 grand on a high school for a year, or maybe even longer for that point in time. They're feeder schools. You don't think that's discriminatory in some nature? They discriminate in a million different ways. This is why they shouldn't be nonprofits. Call them for what they are. They're businesses. They want to have their VIP list like the restaurant does in Midtown Manhattan. I don't give a crap. I don't care. But again, this is not going to change anything. People, the stories and news, some of the conservatives put out here, well, I hear applications are down. Do you freaking think that Harvard's going to have a difficult time putting butts in the seats? No. In fact, what this will end up doing is you'll probably have less conservatives want to go to the school, and it'll become even more liberal, for crying out loud. So, Elsie Stefanik, you got things done. What did you get done? Huh? What did you get done? Yeah, it's a revolving. It's not going to change. I mean, television show it was on for a while, and I watched some of it. That's got popular again. Meghan Markle is in it, and she's unlikable on the show as she is in real life. But anyway, that show Suits. The whole entire show is based on a law firm that will only hire Harvard grads. You think that there's still not a ton of law firms that aren't the exact same way? I know for a fact there are. I know there's plenty of money management firms, hedge funds that are the exact same way. You think that they're going to change their ways over this because Bill Ackman said something? No, and the beauty is it's a free country. You're free to do whatever you want. And if this is what they want to do, this is what they want to do. I mean, parents, you don't have to send your kids there, but I'm not going to tell you that there's not going to be, your kid goes to school there, he's not going to have a major advantage over other places, because they are. They are, whether it be Wall Street or whether it be Washington, D.C. We all know this to be the case. This is why I call this a spectacle, okay? Because that's exactly what it is. It's a spectacle. It's a show. Nothing important. Nothing is going to be done. Nothing is going to change by any stretch of the imagination. And everyone knows it. Everyone knows it's like an ongoing joke. Again, I'm sub-referencing again with that movie that Don't Look Up on Netflix. I watched one rainy Sunday, and it was actually I kind of thought it was kind of clever. But even in that, there's all the Hollywood types. They were mocking. They were making fun. Oh, these guys are not from an Ivy League school. We don't need to listen to these people. Come on, for crying out loud. How can we listen to them? Come on, people. I mean, you really think, okay, great. We got Claudine Gay's on, the wall. Her head is on the wall of some politicians and some conservative pundits out there. Great. Now what? Nothing. WatchDog on WallStreet.com.